What's up?
Hey, what's good? Oh,
Bro,
what do we got this
I
week?
just got Christmas, as always, early. Just got a CGC box. You're gonna have to walk back here and help me out open this because there's some juicy stuff in here.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do this.
Hey guys, what's good? You're watching the Best Damn Comic Show, episode 20.
There's more boxes coming, but this is a juicy box.
Let's do it. What do we got this week? All right. Gotta give it up to CGC. They do it.
Man, they pack this shit like there's nobody's. But for the money, they better pack it. So this was a bunch of older books, submissions for some of my customers. So they're not mine.
Not all yours.
I mean, they're not all mine. Amazing Spider-Man 129 and 9.2. This is one of my friend's books, Sam. It was pressed and cleaned by Rocket. It came out at 9.2, so we figured
that's a pretty good copy for them.
We tried to see if we can bump it up,
That's a 40-year-old book, so
yeah. But I mean,
first appearance of Punisher.
First talking about Frank.
Yeah, talking about Frank. We'll be talking about him later.
Then we have this puppy.
Wow.
And this is my friend Edwin.
Oh my.
Who's at home watching his niece, so he's probably I'm gonna text him after. But he bought this a couple of years ago over at WonderCon, I believe. Well, last year or the year before. Paid about $700-800.
That's a steal.
I mean, he was stressing it because he wasn't like, oh man, I don't know if I should spend the money. But again, Rocket pressed, cleaned this puppy, came back 5.5. He's happy.
Can I hold it? Okay.
I mean, we're talking maybe a $2,500 book right now, and I guarantee you this is gonna continue.
No, I know for a fact that this is Wolverine's official first appearance. This is a grail for me. I'm probably never gonna own one of these, but this book is getting harder and harder to find in higher grades. So these lower grades are
they're moving up,
shooting
slowly.
up.
Yeah, they're moving up.
There's been some pretty crazy sales for like the 7.0s and stuff like. And like not 1,000, like 10,000 stuff like that. Like this is one of the hotter books right now.
Well, look, at the end of the day, Marvel has the X-Men movie rights back in their stable. They're gonna recast, retool, reissue. That book's you're gonna see an X-Men movie like nobody's business, and it's just gonna go up the wall.
Man.
Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man #2. It's a 7.5. First appearance of the Vulture. Again, pressed and cleaned by Rocket.
Michael Keaton was an awesome Vulture, by the way.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
I watched that movie again last
Oh,
week.
it's solid.
It was better the second time than the first. Same thing with Thor Ragnarok for me.
Oh yeah, I just watched that yesterday.
Yeah. It's way better the second time around. Yeah.
But 7.5. Really, I mean, the colors on this. Well, yeah, it's got a couple of things, but I think what's helping, there's not much. I mean, it's got fresh colors on this.
This book came out, what, 1963 or
63? May in the 63.
That's
5 years later, you guys were blessed with me.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man #3, a 7.0. Again, pressed and cleaned by Rocket. This is the first appearance of Doc Ock. Again,
very important Spider-Man.
First appearance. I mean, great job. And again, the book itself, it's very. Colors are very fresh. I mean, the damage, you can tell, but it's a very pleasing, very nice 7.0.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, this is my Christmas came early today. Actually, Christmas is here every Wednesday.
These are some great books. I'm glad that you have such a network that
I'm trying,
that people are bringing in these kind of books too. Like, it's not, I see a lot of people getting modern books graded and stuff, and while those are cool too, it's not the same as one of these classic
it's not.
books.
I mean, as long as we've been fans of this product for a while, and I know, and like I said, I mean, I'm of the mentality that nothing is hard to find.
Right.
I got to see. I have an Amazing Fantasy 15. Granted, it's a UK version, but it's Amazing Fantasy 15. I had an Amazing Spider-Man #1, 1.5. I sold that at the Santa Clarita show to another dealer, great guy. I mean, I've seen books in my hands. I mean, it's books that I'd be like, I've never seen. No, I've seen Action Comics. You know what I mean? I mean, it's great. Yeah. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. I mean, I've always had a great time with the shop, but lately with all the stuff that's coming in, it's been phenomenal. But yeah, this is we're gonna have some happy people. Well, then why don't we
switch it up a little bit and talk about the Matthew Rosenberg Punisher trade that came out last Wednesday.
Let's do this. Yeah.
All right. So you've been talking to me a couple months now about Matthew Rosenberg and this Punisher book. I know he's a new writer in Marvel. hasn't been around that long. He's
Indie guy. Remember, I mentioned
Yeah.
the fact that Marvel's going again. Marvel's
finding
about their
fresh
brand.
talent from
Well, it's
indie
about their
books, yeah.
brand, and they're looking for new writers. You know, willing to do the work they ask him to do. He had his hit out of Black Mass. 4 kids walk into a bank.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
I mean, that book had buzz, crazy buzz.
It did. I got some.
buzz enough to where it got him on to the Marvel
I
payroll.
got some variants from it that are worthless right now. That's for another day.
That's worthless till it gets picked up for a movie.
This is true. This is
Because
true.
it's Rosenberg. If you guys are not reading Punisher, we just got out this past week. This picks up right after his regular Punisher run, the War Machine run, the Punisher machine.
Yeah.
So this picks up. It's more traditional, down to just killing, you know,
Right.
guns, knives, grenades, all kinds of stuff. And
And that was the thing, like, that's the thing about Punisher. The thing that people loved when he came out was he's the only character in the Marvel universe.
he can go both ways.
Yeah.
He can take on villains.
He's an
and normal
anti-hero.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he doesn't take, like, he takes nothing. Like, if you're doing something wrong, you're going to die. He's very black and white,
it's-
just like his costume.
And Rosenberg came on the Punisher series right after, during the Secret Empire storyline. So you got a situation where Frank's pissed off because he got used by Hydra. This miniseries, the beginning of the new series, I mean, he's going after Hydra. And just, you read this, it's like trail of bodies to get to Zemo. I mean, you know, it's really solid. I reread this again this morning, and I forgot how good it was, because I'm so caught up with the regular series right now. Him being the storyline, him being on whatever the island is where Zemo rules and all the villains, and
Right.
he's just going to be like a massacre on that island.
Paradise.
Yeah, it's paradise for Frank. You like violence, you like Frank. I mean, Matthew Rosenberg, he loves Frank. I can tell he loves Frank. And
So let me ask you about this run then. Like last week we talked about Immortal Hulk and how the Hulk character himself has got a lot deeper with this new angle towards him. You know, now that he's been reincarnated, he's got this
Right.
weird, you know, the regeneration thing, and his mental, he's not a savage brute anymore.
oh no.
But for someone that's not familiar with these characters, that's what you think of with the Hulk.
Right.
And with the Punisher, you also think that this is a very superficial character where it's just a guy that goes around and kills bad
But
guys.
he's never been a guy. I mean, well, it is. I mean, he does go after bad guys, but it's always a bad guy with a purpose.
Right. So
It's
what
not-
makes this Rosenberg
Well,
deeper?
well, I mean, the whole storyline.
By the way,
so
this looks to me, I don't know about you, but this cover right here, this cover looks like the Dolph Lundgren, like older Dolph Lundgren as Frank Castle.
Right.
It
Well,
does,
look,
yeah.
the art's done by Simon Kudransky, and I've met him online, and he's a Spawn product. He did some of the covers and art for Spawn a while back I believe in the late 190s. I mean, and he's got a couple of covers that are worth bucks out of that Spawn run. I mean, look at this panel of Jigsaw. Now that's Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and just the story itself, you know,
And that's cool that you're it's you incorporating some of the traditional Punisher villains as well as him going after Hydra.
and you can tell Rosenberg has been watching the Netflix stuff, because there's a sequence with him with Daredevil, and again, just like in the TV show, it's like we're not killing anybody. And then you have the whole sequence on the rooftops where Frank has to kill some of the ninjas to save him.
Yeah.
Just like, and here I mean, it's such a beautifully told Frank story. I mean, and again, the whole purpose is he's going after Zemo as a payback for what Zemo did to him during Secret
Right.
Empire. You know, used them to push his means.
Right.
It's I mention it in our weekly picks every time. It doesn't let me down. It's a good $4 spend every week.
Right. And now, before we wrap this up, unlike Incredible Hulk, this isn't like something that should be hard to find in the secondary market.
It hasn't blown up on that secondary market like Hulk has. Although they are sold out, there's a second print here and there. You know what I mean?
But you should
You should be able to put it together, because it's only on issue 7, I think, the current run.
Right.
You know.
And anyways, guys, so if this is something that you're interested in, and you don't want to hunt down the individual issues, the trade paperback came out last week or 2 weeks ago?
This past Wednesday.
Oh, it just came out.
I mean, keep an eye on Matthew Rosenberg, and he's writing Uncanny X-Men right now, and the last 2 issues have been phenomenal. You know, so yeah, and check out his indie book too. 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank. That's a good read too, and that's his early start.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and there you go, guys. So let's talk about the picks of the week. All right, Kat, so what do we got this week?
Detective Comics 999. We're one issue away from the second book to hit 1,000 on the shelves. Man, I'm looking forward to it. I like Detective more than Batman, especially the last 6, 7, 8 issues. Batman's been lackluster, but a lot of people are feeling the same. Like, yeah, man, Detective's much better than what's going on with Batman. Batman's been just stale right now, just like nothing really, just like a lot of running around.
And I've noticed something as well with this Detective is it doesn't have the buzz that it should. It doesn't have the same buzz that
like
Action Comics 1000 did.
An Action blew.
Do you think that's what's affecting? Because Action Comics was so like such a letdown?
I think so. I think so. I mean, 1,000 was a letdown, both story-wise and variant-wise. There was really nothing crazy about it. Detective, on the other hand, man, I mean, you got the regular covers. I think it's a Jim Lee regular cover. Beautiful.
Right. I know Adam Hughes is doing one too.
And then you got the Decades are such a better choice of artists. And the inside's going to have a story. It's going to culminate to the storyline they've been doing up to this point with the Hugo Strange. Plus, I believe there might be the introduction of a new character. I'm not sure. Something new is happening in Detective overall, where
because Action was like a collection of one,
everybody
going,
like a one shot. You, like,
yeah.
you know, please. But Detective, I think, I mean, don't sleep on it, guys. I mean, I'm pretty sure DC is going to overprint that issue. The last 3 issues of Detective have sold out, and they've gone to second prints, and they're on the secondary market. They're above cover price, 55, 56, 54, 55, 56. They're going above cover, so don't sleep on Detective, guys. Freedom Fighter number 3. Man, I love this book. You know, 12 issues, no long-term commitment. It's a fresh take on all characters, with half the characters still being the old characters and half of them being, you know, reborn, like retooled characters, and it makes sense. I mean, it's
like people are sleeping on it a little bit because they're not the mainstream characters.
They're not. Freedom Fighters, you know, it was a DC acquirement back in the day. You know, it was Earth X, whatever, you know, always stuck in World War II Nazi SR. I think in that world, back in the day, you know, the Nazis won, so it was the Freedom Fighters, you know, the whole concept was they were fighting against...
It was Man in the High Castle before Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, exactly. It's the one book a lot of people are not reading, and I think they should, is Avengers No Road Home. By issue 6, some shit's gonna happen. I mean, I'm sure we've heard this secret, you know, Savage Avengers is coming. I don't know how the orders are gonna be for it, but I'm liking what they're doing. Again, 12 issues, weekly book. I know it feels like, oh my God, but no, it's worth the read. Captain America. I talk about Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I said every time we talk about this book that I wasn't so sure about him writing a white superhero, but let me tell you guys,
especially after the whole Oscar thing last night.
It's such a good read, you know. I mean, and this issue, he's, you know, they're accusing him of killing, Thaddeus Ross, I believe. It's worth the read, and you can't beat the Alex Ross covers.
Oh yeah,
and they're selling out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
We're gonna. I hate to cut you off, but I feel like this last year, in the future, we're gonna look back and be like, why didn't I pick up all those books? Because they're...
Look at the Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, forget the fact that it's a great story, but the covers. I mean, today I got a call, you know, hey, do you guys, from somebody in San Diego, you guys have any back issues and first prints on Immortal Hulk? I started laughing. I mean, he started laughing, you know, he knew. But again, don't be surprised if something's gonna happen in Cap where we're gonna start chasing those back issues. And they're already on second and third prints.
Right, always a good sign.
You know, so that's a kind of telltale to, should I pick it up? Yeah, you should pick it up. You know, they're selling out. Daredevil number 2, there's no description on the story about it. It says classified, but dude, I like that number 1. Just out of curiosity, I can't say what's gonna happen because I don't know, but it says classified. You got the syndrome of number 1s to number 2 drop off. If you're not smart, if you don't pick it up, something might be in there that it might be that hidden pick of the week where bam, damn, I should have picked up Daredevil number 2.
That might be the hot book.
That might be the hot book
because people are sleeping on it.
Fantastic Four, Dan Slott, great on this run, and now you have Doctor Doom versus Galactus. Dude, is this a precursor of the Marvel MCU?
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta think. It's like, you know, everybody's got speculation. I've been watching YouTube about what everybody's speculating about what's gonna happen of Endgame, who's the next villain. You got Kang, you got this, that. I've heard it from a few sources that there's a Silver Surfer Easter egg. If that's the case, Galactus can't be that far behind. So read Fantastic Four. That means Fantastic Four is not far. A Marvel MCU Fantastic Four. And the last pick for me is X-Force, number 3. I know a lot of guys are kind of like on the book because the art is not, I don't know who the artist is, but I'm liking it. It's really something different. But Ed Brisson, I talk about these crops of writers that Marvel is bringing in from the indie market, young. And these are guys that probably grew up reading in Claremont X-Men,
right,
or the Punisher run, or all these books. I'm loving what they're doing with X-Force. A Kid Cable, they killed the Liefeld Cable. You got a Kid Cable that could be easily recasted in the Marvel MCU movie.
Got a Cable without all the pockets,
without the pockets, without the arm, like streamlined. Give it a read. Again, they're selling out. 90% of Marvel books shipping every week. Sold out at the printers. You got your second, third prints, and you have that chasing the back issues, run, trying to find those first prints.
It's like a whole new world of Marvel out there. I feel like if people are like,
dude, I mean,
there's people that still haven't jumped back into X-Men because they're upset about what was happening.
The last couple, Rosenberg is killing. We'll talk, I think, the next issues. I mean, it's fucking great.
Your ex-employee Heather is back on the X-Men train.
If she's on it, the book is worth reading. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was like, I'm done with X-Men for a long time, and Cyclops is her favorite character.
And then next to Havoc, and look, she understands why they did what they did, but now it's back. I mean, it's worth the read, guys. I mean, it definitely X-Men, Uncanny X-Men. It's good stuff.
As for the variant picks of the week, I was talking to Kat before we started, but I see people online complaining about Marvel, like, oh, they keep on putting all these variants out, whatever. And it's like, number one, the variants they've been putting out aren't that nice. Like, they're not putting out these hot covers.
They're not, but they're
not bad.
They're not bad, but they're just there.
They are what they are, and it's not like a hot book that you need.
Look, at the end of the day, they put it out. They were told to make variants. Dealers are complaining. Fans are complaining. Look, guys, nobody's holding a gun to your head to order the books.
Right.
I'm not forced to order any variants. You guys are not forced to buy it. I'm not telling you, hey, you got to buy this variant. I mean, when we talk about things, it's our opinion. And it's like, again, it's that whole buyer beware thing.
Right, exactly.
Look, it's about numbers at the printer. Even if they sell an extra 10,000 units, that's 10,000 units that they wouldn't normally sell. So it doesn't matter. It's business, and people need to understand that. Again, don't buy it. Just simple as that. You don't have to buy it. We don't buy it. They don't care because they'll keep putting them out.
And I kind of look at it this way, like the 90s, the reason why Marvel went bankrupt was because they started doing this huge crossover event where you had to buy 30 books to follow one story. You don't have to do that with the ratio variant.
No.
The story inside is going to be the same as
But don't complain 5-10 years from now when things do go, they turn around, they go, oh shit, that's hot, and it's a $600-700 books. And I can make a list of variants that people passed on back in the day, one of them being the first Venomized run.
Right.
Nobody bought those. I still had them. I found them in my boxes with $24.99 prices and sold them $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 raw. And you're talking graded, stupid money. So again,
paying rent money.
It's up to you to buy these variants, but don't complain now and don't complain in the future.
Yeah.
That's just,
It is what it is. But back to the actual picks, I'm always a little heavier on the DC stuff because they're cover price, and they're beautiful covers. They're really getting like some of the best artists out there. I don't read Action Comics whatsoever, and I'm not a Superman fan whatsoever, but this Jeff DeCall cover, just like last week's Nightwing.
Oh man, he's doing some stuff.
Yeah, beautiful stuff, guys. And it's Action Comics, so you should be able to find a copy of this easily. Batgirl number 32, Derek Chew. I like this cover better than the Harley Quinn cover that came out a few weeks ago. It's a really nice cover. It's good to make a collection because I feel like this is a new artist. He's gonna heat up in the future, and they're cover price books depending on your LCS. Wonder Woman number 65. Get the Art Germ treatment again for all you Art Germ collectors out there. I like his style. It's anime or manga influence, but it's him. Like, I know it's an Art Germ cover, and you could spot it from a mile away, which is what I like about it the most. And that's one of the things I look for.
Everything.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like a whole package with him.
Daredevil number 2. There's a Mateo Scalera 1 in 25 variant. Like Kat told you, he has no idea. There was no solicitation for the book. It's classified.
There's no like synopsis. They usually give you some blurbs. All it says is classified. Could be good, could be bad, but I don't know.
But
number 1 was pretty good.
If something huge were to drop, like a huge first appearance or something, like if this is a key book, The 1 in 25 is what you want to grab. I think there's also a 1 in 50 John Romita that I'm not as big a fan of, but Scalera's kind of heating up, and just print runs, ratios, whatever. Something important happens in this book, you want to get your hands on the 1 in 25. I mean, I might even go and try to pre-order it now before it comes out on Wednesday, because you might be able to get it cheaper on eBay.
Yeah.
Before it actually
check
drops.
Midtown, see if they're sold out.
Or that as well, so. All right, so this week on Shop Talk, a bunch of things kind of happened this week. Let's start off with congratulating the Black Panther crew. They got 3 Oscars yesterday. Costume design, what else? Actually, USC grad won for best score. And there was another one I think it had to do with the actual set design.
Visually, that movie was amazing.
Yeah.
The costumes were amazing.
Yeah.
The set design was the score. I mean, it was well deserved, because I don't know who they went up against, but I don't think there was anything else that, another period piece, what was that movie that won the actress? She won Best Actress, The Favorite or whatever?
Favorite, yeah.
Another period piece, 14th, 15th century.
This was creating a world that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
And it was
created a world that doesn't exist, that people believed it exists.
Exactly.
So, man, it should win. Hands down, it should win the Oscars, Congratulations to all of them, man.
Also, speaking of comic book films, my favorite movie of last year, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, won for Best Animated Feature.
Okay, again, it's a cartoon, and it was great. It should have won. What did it go up against?
Incredibles 2. Yeah.
I watched Incredibles 2, and it was boring as shit. God, I couldn't watch that.
I liked it so much that it made me reconsider how comic book movies should be made. I was
wait a minute, could it be the fact that he's half Puerto Rican and you felt connected? Just say it, dude. Come on.
That wasn't really so much the bias. They spoke Spanish twice.
But still,
but
Mama's
yeah,
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, she was. That was awesome, but it wasn't a.
Love to Puerto Rico.
Let's get into some news. They're coming out with a Hulk Hogan biopic, and Chris Hemsworth is going to play Hulk Hogan.
Dude, he can bash for a girl doesn't have. He can pull it. Yeah, have you seen Thor? Shit, he can pull it.
It's gonna be one of those movies where wow, okay, I guess it makes sense. The actor's gonna be better looking than the actual guy.
At this age, yeah, but
back then too. But Chris Hemsworth, man, he's no joke.
I'm talking about Hulk Hogan. He was a handsome feller.
Yeah, he had his moments.
He had his moments.
But
no, that's
6'8", 320
Thor
pounds.
playing Hulk? Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I'm not a big fan of biopics of people who are still alive. I think
this is Snoopy. He's got his own opinion.
Especially when there's so much material out there. There's some news from DC that dropped this week. Dan Didio came out at the Comics Pro Summit, and he said that DC is looking to cut back on their titles. They have too many titles out there. They're not making any money, so they might cut some titles. What do you think about that as a distributor?
As a seller, look, at the end of the day, I always say it's you work within your parameter. At the end of the day, this is a business. You have overhead, you have this, that, the other. The money goes out, money comes in. You keep a tab on the orders. And why is it cutting? Books are not selling? Because look, at the end of the day, you got crap on the shelves.
Right.
Dark Knight spin-offs, Damage, 2 copies. Curse of Brimstone, 1 copy. You have such a library of characters for the last 67 years, and you're trying to put out these new characters, push new crap on customers, and they're bad stories on top of it.
Right.
Bad art, bad stories. You've restarted your universe 50,000 times. Rebirth after reborn after rebirth after reborn. Look, I love the guys. I love everything, but...
And talking about Rebirth, you had this whole build-up with Rebirth for Superman in Action Comics, and then Bendis comes in and just says, all right, well, whatever you guys are writing, I don't give a shit about, and throws it out. And as well as the adventures of the Super Sons as well, gets thrown to the back because
at the end of the day, you have so much. Well, it's not, again, they're bringing back Connell because Dan likes, he wrote Connell when he was Superboy, and I'm pretty sure Bendis likes because he's writing Young Justice, so he can do it. So they don't need John. So it's you got people pushing their own agenda on these characters.
Right.
And when you look at Marvel cares about their characters. They care about their stories. They care about the more so now than ever. Now that they bought Fox and they own,
It's actually a complaint from some of the writers that there's like an inflexibility with the Marvel characters. Ed Brubaker, for example, like he's never going to do a Marvel book ever
because he doesn't. They won't let him do what he wants to do.
Right,
but it's
exactly.
like, dude, you're getting paid to write their character. Just do what they tell you.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's their brand. This is what they have plans. You guys remember now. Forget that Marvel's owned by Disney. Disney has theme parks. These characters run around theme parks. It's not about your growth. It's about their brand growth. If you don't want to write it, they'll find somebody else. Look, they found Matthew Rosenberg. They found Don Cates. They found Ed Brisson. I mean, they're finding young writers. Everyone, these guys love a shot at this, and they're turning great stuff.
And it's also like, I mean, I don't know if anybody's complaining about it, but whenever a character gets changed too much, that's the first thing you see from all the fanboys is, why are they doing this with Daredevil? Why are they doing this with Batman? Why are they doing this with Superman? So on and so forth. So it's like, you can't win. But I feel like that's the problem with DC is that they keep on trying. They don't stick with what they're good at, and they keep on trying to switch it up because they're trying to cash in on the gimmick and not.
Well, like I've said, and I don't know, maybe people hate me. I don't care. Look, like I said before, DC, Marvel is about character growth. DC is about individual growth. It's about their brand. It's about putting their foot on this industry. Superman's been around for 70 years. Batman's 70 years. Aquaman's 70 years. Wonder Woman, so all these characters, no, you can't change them. Don't change them. Let them guide you as a writer and your growth and your career as a writer, and then you move on to your own thing, do what you want with your characters or with your stories. But with the characters that have been around for so long, you can't. The Superman books are just horrible. It's like I'm reading rehashing stuff he did over at Marvel with individual characters. Right. It's like Naomi. All it is just another Miles Morales. But I can pull panels, and it's the same freaking panels, pages.
Maybe we will.
From Miles Morales.
But
to Naomi. It's
but back to the Dan Didio thing. Even with all that stuff, the Superman books aren't the ones that are going to get cut.
Well, you can't get cut.
Yeah.
So what's getting cut? Let me guess. Silencer, Damage, Curse of Brimstone. I mean, I can probably point out books that nobody cares for.
Right.
That's what they're cutting.
Right.
And I guarantee you'll see some relaunches.
And Hawkman's probably going to get cut too to like a limited run on the book, stuff like that. Like not that your Batmans and your Supermans aren't going anywhere, but your other tertiary.
I think you're gonna get cut with the non-essential characters,
right?
Which is all the new characters, all the non-sequential. You're not gonna see titles like Electric Warriors anymore,
right? You're
not gonna see titles, titles that don't mean anything to anybody,
right?
You're gonna probably see, relaunch or not relaunch, but more focus on the characters they already have. I'll guarantee you that you'll see some more better, tighter continuity out of DC pretty soon if this is what they're announcing, because they've tried diluting the market and it just doesn't help. It didn't help.
Got it. So final conclusion, you think it's a good thing?
I think it's a good thing because again, at the end of the day, I don't have to order crap. People don't have to buy crap, and I don't have to hear them complain about buying crap.
All right. Moving on to the next subject. It's a tough one because it's your boy Donny Cates.
What about him?
There are people out there sending him death threats because he doesn't have Venom in a relationship with Eddie Brock. Like they want them to be together. I guess the kids are calling it shipping. And they're so pissed off that in his latest books, he separated them and made it.
What do you mean shipping?
A romantic relationship that Eddie Brock and Venom have had. But now
who's complaining about this?
People online are sending Donny Cates death threats to the point where he had to respond to him on Twitter. Like, hey guys, you guys sending me death threats isn't going to stop me from writing what I'm writing.
Donny, if you're watching this, don't stop doing what you're doing, man. This last issue was fucking crazy.
The last issue is exactly the actual reason. They're upset that Venom, who, funny enough, in the Venom movie, that trash-ass movie that people watch, is basically the same thing, that Venom is the one that gives him cancer or made him think that he had cancer. Venom's been manipulating this whole time, and people are upset about that. Venom has always been a parasite. He's from a universe of parasites. They're symbiotes that they can't survive without feeding on a host. and now you guys want him to be in love with Eddie Brock and
Oh
Eddie
my
Brock's
God.
back.
But wait a minute, what kind of?
I don't get it either. I don't get it. I don't know who's complaining.
Maybe because I'm 50 years old. Maybe because I was born in another country and I became American citizen here. So maybe I don't get the whole mentality of things. You know what I mean? I
A
don't know.
parasite and a human are not supposed to be married, folks. Okay? And people.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
I'll talk.
My mom said, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say it. I'm speechless right now.
This is as political as we're gonna get, guys. But this is just another facet of outrage culture that is spreading into other, like, parts of life.
The book barely sells. Leave it alone,
Yeah.
please. I keep saying, stop trying to. If these books sold in the millions, I would say, okay, use it as a platform for social awareness or something. But bro, we're barely surviving in this industry. You guys are illegally downloading comics instead of buying the stuff. Stop. Leave my Venom alone, man. Leave Donnie alone. Why? Leave Donnie alone.